Some mistakes will cost players, especially beginners, a lot of money on GTA5 Grand RP server. For example, the first mistake that I personally made multiple times and now I regret it. I'm talking about spending a lot of money on upgrading cars that cannot be sold to other players. Because yes, you can make your cars much faster by installing pro parts or spending money on cheap tuning, which is not cheap at all. But the problem is, cars that you get from Battle Pass, different containers, or pretty much all promotions cannot be transferred to other players. There are exceptions like the car that you receive for logging in 60 days in a row, but overall cars that you don't buy at auto shop or from other players cannot be sold to other players as well. You can only sell them to the government for only 10% of their state value. So when you're spending a lot of money on upgrading a car that can be sold to other players, you are increasing its value and making it easier to sell this car in the future when you will get tired of it or will buy a better car. So you will get at least some money back, unlike with spending money on upgrading cars that cannot be sold to other players. So I suggest investing money into upgrading such car only if you like this car so much that you are sure that you will use this car in the future no matter what. Like for example this Porsche, I like it so much that I'm using it all the time. Next mistake is using ATM for cashing out. It's absolutely fine to use any ATM machine to replenish your balance, you will pay nothing. But if you will decide to withdraw money using ATM, you will have to pay a tax, usually around 10%, and if you need only a few thousand, it's not a big deal. But if you cashing out money to buy a car or a property, just go to the bank and withdraw your money without paying anything. The next mistake is not asking for a better price when you buying something from people who posted an advertisement on Life Invader. You will be surprised how often such players will give you a huge discount. It's because quite often players are using Life Invader because they need to sell as fast as possible. They need money right now. They could have tried to sell the items on a market, or house at real estate agency, or especially car at auto fair, but instead they decided to spend $3,000 on posting an advertisement that most players will not even mention, and it's because they really want to sell it. And it's the perfect situation to ask for a better price, but don't get too greedy. If price is already low, just buy it, because someone else might do it instead. Not joining a family, which is like a clan on Grand RP, is also probably a mistake, because families offer a lot of benefits for beginners, like you can use family house as your spawning location when you don't have your apartment yet, drive family cars, ask questions in family chat if it's allowed, and also earn some extra money, either by taking part in family business or events, or simply by asking family member to help you with office tasks, like the one where you have to win a race. But keep in mind that some families have a tax that you need to pay. We don't have such tax, and if you want to join, feel free to use my referral link in the description, then register on second English server, that's where we are playing, fill all the data, download and install the client, but keep in mind that GTRP is only available for PC and you need to have a licensed copy of GTA5. And then after creating a character, you will appear in a hotel. Go to the lobby and talk to the only NPC lady that you will see there. Choose I want to reunite with a family and search for PvP cat. Then join. We have a lot of friendly and helpful players. Not buying insurance for a car is another mistake that a lot of players are making. And it's not even because each time you will hit something without insurance you will be breaking your engine and your car will be consuming more fuel unless you will pay for an engine repair. The main reason why you need an insurance is that without it your car will probably get stolen and you will have to pay a lot of money to buy it back. But you might say, well, I'm gonna be parking my car only in a green zone and it's against the rules to steal cars from a green zone. And yes, it's against the rules, but it happens all the time. Players are just pushing out cars out of the green zone and then stealing it. Admins can help you, but only if you will show a proof that you left your car in a green zone, and usually you will not have such proof. So yeah, there are a few reasons to go to Paleto Bay and buy an insurance for your car from a police officer, but not from NPC, from other player. It will be much cheaper that way. But buying a car plates from the same police officer would be a mistake if your car is expensive, because it will cost you a lot of money. So what you can do instead is go here and buy a license from other players. Usually you will find licenses for only $2,000. cars. And by the way, I need to mention that using a car that you cannot afford, that is too expensive and you cannot buy insurance for it, you cannot change its looks, you cannot make any upgrades, is probably a mistake. So if you will get an extremely expensive car like 20 million plus from a promotion, consider selling it to the government immediately. Walking around with a lot of cash, especially in a danger zone, is another mistake, because bandits can rob you and steal some percentage of your money, so try not to carry more than $100,000 in cash. And by the way, always be careful and watch out when you are entering a danger zone, because there you can get killed at any time. Next mistake is forgetting about taxes and not taking them into consideration. For example, you see that someone is selling for $950,000 a car that you can easily sell for $1 million. And you might think that it's a good idea to buy this car now and sell it later and earn $50,000 this way. But each time when you sell something to other players, either directly or on the market like auto fair, you have to pay a tax, 10%. Actually, if you will be selling house or apartment on auction, tax will be even higher, 20%. So if you will sell this car for $1 million, you will receive only $910,000. And actually quite often I see players who don't understand how it works and after selling something are asking you why they received less money. And by the way, speaking about selling stuff, a lot of players are making mistake here and not earning enough money when selling different items or resources. For example, complete beginners quite often are selling resources like copper or gasoline to NPC buyers, and this way are losing a lot of money because other players will pay you much more for that resources. Just rent a shop on the market and sell your containers, resources or items to other players. But before doing that, learn about current prices. Walk around the market, check other shops, see for which price people are selling different resources. Or maybe ask in a family chat about the price. And by the way, it's extremely profitable to sell different resources when there is a new update on a server. During such events, players are buying a lot of resources because they can trade them for a special event currency, for which they can buy different cosmetic items and not only. So maybe if you know that soon there will be a new event, wait with selling your copper or fish. And yes, it's kinda obvious, but start selling only when you have a lot of things to sell, because renting a shop on a market will cost you $500 per hour, making an advertisement on Life Invader will cost you $3,000, and if you're selling like only 10 seeds, it's not gonna be worth it. And the next mistake is not planning for how long you will be playing this day. The first thing you should do right after logging in is to open your phone, click here and choose daytime investments. And here make an investment that you can complete. So if you're planning to play for only 2 hours today, don't leave 4 hours investment, which will be there by default usually. And by the way, after completing the task and playing for a certain amount of hours on a server, you will have to go back to daily investments and claim money manually. And speaking about money, if you want to learn about the best jobs for beginners on GTA5 Grand RP server, I suggest you to go and check the video that you can see on your screen now. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, stay safe, stay healthy, goodbye.